Oh man, so I'm a little late to this because this happened earlier today, but Nintendo made an announcement for Breath of the Wild 2. They are going to be delaying it just a tiny tad bit longer. We're going to talk about it. We're going to watch the announcement from today. This was to be expected, most honestly. I remember recently my live stream was asking me my thoughts on it when they think it would be released. I didn't think there was any way that it was going to be coming out this year. We're already into the spring. I remember Breath of the Wild 1 was getting delayed so many times that I was figuring it would at least be another year extension on it. So, yeah, it all but confirmed and happened. So, let's go ahead and
こんにち
watch this
は。
video.
ゼルダの伝説シリーズプロデューサーの青沼です。ゼルダの伝説ブレスオブザワイルド続編の発売時期に関してお知らせがあります。本作は2022年に発売を予定。
So they're saying they aimed originally for a 2022 release for this game. I always kind of thought, nah, it's going to get delayed. It's a Zelda game. I mean, Nintendo and Miyamoto and Eiji Aonuma literally live and die by the whole, a good game can be delayed as many times as possible. I forget what the exact quote is, but like a bad game will always be a bad game if it's rushed out, basically. So I always assumed they would be delaying it. It's Zelda. They're not going to let it come out half-assed. Let's continue.
予定しているとお伝えしていましたが、開発にもう少しお時間をいただきたく、発売を2023年春に変更。
So they're saying spring 2023. So yeah, a year from now is what they're delaying it to. Now he's about to give the reason exactly why and all that. They want the
さ
best
せてい
game
ただきたいと
possible.
思います。楽しみにお待ちい
So
た
for
だいてい
those
る
of
皆
you who've
様、
been looking forward to
大
release
変
this
申
year,
し
we
訳ありません。
apologize, he says. Now here's the trailer.
続編の舞台は前
And this
作
looks awesome.
ブレスオブザワイルドでの地上フィールドだけでなく、空の上にも広がると前回お伝えしましたが。
So this looks like it's the same trailer footage that we've seen, but you can see you're going into the skies above. I love the wind effects. You can see like the hair blowing and the
拡張された世
clothing.
界はそれだけではなく、そこで皆さんを待ち受ける新たな出会いや新たな遊び
Look
も
at that.
前作以上に多彩なものとなっています。そうした続編での体験を特別なものにするべく、
So in order to make this game's
開
experience
発
somewhat
チーム一
special,
同
the entire development
引き
team is
続き
continuing
総
to
力を
work
挙げて取
diligently
り組
on
んで
this
いきます
game.
ので、どうか今しば
Please
らく
wait a little
お
longer.
待ちいただければと思います。今回のお知らせは以上となります。
So that was the announcement from today, and again, that was to be expected. They did the same thing with Breath of the Wild when that game first came out. It's a Zelda game. It's always gonna be delayed. Seems like Metroid Prime 4 is not coming out either anytime soon. Nintendo always prides itself in its games being fully fleshed out and developed. They just don't toss them out there. Hopefully, this is the only delay that we're going to see. Hopefully, or else Breath of the Wild 2 might end up being on whatever the next console is. I don't think we're going to see that, even though Twilight Princess and both Twilight and Skyward Sword, I believe, or was it Twilight? No, it was Breath of the Wild 1. I'm so stupid. Breath of the Wild 1 was on both Wii U and Switch, and then I believe Twilight Princess was also on GameCube and Wii. So those were two heavy releases that were both cross-gen. So is it possible that Breath of the Wild 2 might become that? Yeah, there's a possibility on that. But, this again was to be expected. I was for sure expecting Breath of the Wild 2 to be delayed just because it just felt like it was too close of a release date. I don't think there was any kind of realistic way for Breath of the Wild 2 to come out at all in 2022. This delay did come out of nowhere. It seemed like today was a huge announcement day with Nintendo coming out with this Breath of the Wild info and then Sony coming out with info about their PlayStation Plus premium account. Now, they did show just a little bit of snippet from the new footage. I believe the Master Sword footage that we just saw. And I'm going to go to an article, actually, that we could reference. Let's go to this one from Polygon. You can see right here, this is a Master Sword, but it looks a little bit different. That, when Nintendo shows little things like that is in regards to what, main plot points might be. It's almost kind of like when we first saw the concept art for Skyward Sword, we saw the character, what was her name? I can't even remember, but basically whatever the Master Sword became, it was that fairy looking character standing behind Link. So if anything, we're gonna see, I guess, maybe the Master Sword's getting corrupted or something. But this is an interesting image that I feel is going to be very critical when it comes to the main plot line of Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever the title is. Um, Now, again, this does say Nintendo previously communicated a 2022 release window for the game, but never announced a firm release date. So there was never a firm release date announced for this. And this goes on to say the entitled sequel to Breath of the Wild was announced June 2019. It doesn't seem like it was that far. June 2019, holy crap, we're coming into April 2022. So it had a mysterious trailer packed with hints about the future of the franchise. So I think this was the original announcement that we had where it showed Link and Zelda like in the basement or a catacombs, and there was like a dead body of Ganon or something. And I think that was the first shot we had. And then of course last year we had the impactful action-packed trailer that we had. So yeah, Nintendo really hasn't talked much more about this other than the adventure will be in the skies above Hyrule and that it's going to have an expanded map from the last game. So, we really don't have much clue of what might be going away. They haven't even given a full name of Breath of the Wild 2. That's to suggest maybe it will reveal too much of the plot points. I've heard speculation and rumors and stuff like that as in regards to what Breath of the Wild 2's title might be like, but right now it's still just known as sequel to Breath of the Wild 2. So again, while this is upsetting, while I'm tired of stuff being delayed, I mean, I've had to temper my expectations basically. I'm used to being told Zelda's not coming out this year. I was still holding out that we would get some kind of surprise in June. There's still a possibility at E3 we can at least get an updated trailer or something like that, or a teaser, but maybe they're holding out for something else that will appease us. Again, Nintendo definitely goes the way of making sure their games are all right. They don't go the Cyberpunk way where stuff just gets thrown out and released and they have to patch stuff. I don't think I've ever recalled a bad Zelda game, official Zelda game, not the CDI crap and any of that. So just a little bit longer, guys. A year, a little over a year and what, some odd months, and we will be sinking deep into this new Zelda experience. What are your guys' thoughts on this delay? I think it's a good move on Nintendo's part, even though it does suck. Let me know your thoughts down below. See you on the next one.